What's up, YouTube? It's me, Dylan, and here's my 240SX. Now, in the last video, we were working on doing the brand new chassis harness, getting all the wiring done in the car. So at the end of that video, I believe it was me saying I had to put the dashboard back in the car. Well, that ended up being a little bit of a pain just to squeeze it back in there. So I didn't record much and I ended up doing a lot. So now we got pretty much the interior back together. All the wiring is done. I actually put the battery in the car and tested everything and it all works. So that's a plus. But so let me show you guys. So here's what we got for the finished product. So I threw the dashboard on, dash cover, and I mounted my brand new PowerTune dash. Not brand new, this is the first version of the dashboard. And don't worry, these scratches are just on the plastic wrap. But so I mounted it to the top of this cluster surround piece, and it looks awesome. The wiring for that was a little confusing, but we got it. We made it through, and when I tested it with the battery in the car, this thing lit up. We're just gonna have to program everything with the brand new PDM and the Link Fury X ECU that we got. Up here are my switches for my headlights, and the way that I have it now, since I routed it through that side following the harness for the whole car, the left one's the left one and the right one's the right one, but up means down and down means up. I also made this little plate out of sheet metal. That's the button for my underglow. I was planning on like putting a bolt in here and then clamping down on this with a nut, but I didn't realize how I can't do that. So I'm gonna find another way just to make those stay there, but this is only temporary. Eventually I'll make it look better. I just want to get the car running, you know? So this doesn't work. It's just here for looks, and I don't have a radio anymore, but everything's okay. Only other thing is I do not have hazard lights. I left the wire tucked on the dash bar, but my plan is if I want to wire them in the future, I have this button here. I have this button here that I used to use for my radiator fans. That would be a pretty cool spot instead of just using the hazard button. But so yeah, other than that, I deleted the old seat belts out of the car, so it's only my harnesses because I never used them, and one of them worked but the driver's side didn't work, so that seat belt that would move across the top there, gonzos. I have my LRB Speed rear seat deletes. Makes it look a lot cleaner in here. Yes, that push pin popped out. I will take care of that. But everything looks real good. Also, before I show you guys this part, let me tell you that this car is just being thrown together so that I could drive it and it look cool and shred. I'm thinking next winter I'll do a whole new wrap or paint the car. But I definitely know that there's body work that has to be done. I mounted up the brand new front fenders. They're 55mm front fenders from Origin Lab to match the rear. This is as close as I could get it without heavily trimming things, because you can never go back, but you could let a pro do it. Only other thing is maybe I'll trim out this top piece, but my car's at monster truck height right now and I kind of want to lower it. But on the rears, I trimmed that out so that I could lower it more. Here's the passenger side. I might try to make this look a little better, but this was kind of like the closest I could get it. It's really off. It looks cool. I also mounted the front bash bar, had a few scratches on it, just touched it up with the same white paint that I used in the bay. But this looks freaking awesome. Also bled the brakes. We got a full reservoir there. All the brakes work again, so the car's a little safer while I'm rolling it around. But so at this point in time, I think it's safe to say the car is pretty much ready for the new engine to be thrown in. So now we got to work on engine stuff. So today, we're going to be installing my turbo onto the engine. And yes, I already opened it. Check this bad boy out. So this is like pretty much the size of an SR turbo. It's a GT2871R. Pretty cool. Should give us what we want. And I kind of mocked up the fittings for all of my oil and coolant lines. These are from Nice Time Racing. They came with my line kit that I ordered. But we're gonna finish this up, tighten all these fittings, mount this thing on that thing, and yeah, let's get it done. So this is pretty simple. We got the oil drain here and the oil feed there, and then coolant feed and the coolant drain. I'm just gonna unscrew everything, put a little bit of thread sealant on all of the fittings, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So I just used some thread sealant and I put all the fittings back on. Now thread sealant's better than something like thread tape because it's not a tape and it won't break up and go into all your lines and clog them. So it's a lot more reliable. So I put some on these fittings, and then the oil drain has a gasket that Nice Time Racing supplied. So everything's pretty tight. You don't want to be too crazy with it because it is a turbo, and I am definitely known for stripping bolts. So now we're gonna bolt this thing up to the engine. So first things first, we're gonna take these studs from ISR and screw them in. So I just put those studs on there and I threw the turbo gasket on. So now let's put the turbo on there. This thing looks freaking killer on there. But as we can see, we definitely have to clock the turbo. So in order to do that, you want to loosen up these nuts on the back, on the hot side, and that'll allow you to clock the turbo in whatever direction you want. So now that I loosened those nuts, we're able to clock the middle of the turbo in order to make our oil drain at the bottom there, oil feed up top, and our coolant lines will be on the sides. Now we just have to clock the front, which is the same process, but you're just going to loosen these nuts instead. I'm going to tighten these up first. All right, so now we got the turbo clocked downwards, which is going to go to an L-shaped coupler to my ISR intercooler piping. This looks pretty sick. Now it's just time to connect up all the lines. Now I got all the lines pretty much routed. I think this is going to be how I'm going to do it, and then the down pipe will go over it. But so we got the oil drain that drains the oil back into the oil pan coming off the bottom of the turbo. Up top we got the oil feed, which goes around and is coming out of here right before my adapter plate to bring my oil to a cooler and relocate the filter. So this is where the oil is going to come out of, go into there, drain out, back into the oil pan. And then we have coolant lines, one here, the other one there, that route back. I'm going to tie them all together so they don't move around. And then we have a in and out. Coolant lines are pretty simple. You just need to have coolant flowing through. It's not like one is a return and one's a feed. It's always going to be flowing through. Then these are my AN fuel lines that are going to connect to my fuel lines in the car. Now I think it's a good time for us to install the K20 coil pack conversion kit I got from Nice Time Racing as well. They also sell this awesome titanium bolt kit to put these bad boys onto their coil adapter. So let's throw those things on. And just like that, coil packs are installed. Very simple. They pop right on like a spark plug wire, and then they go in with a screw and a little spacer. This thing's turning out freaking awesome. I also just threw on the distributor off of the pink engine, and then I threw the Nice Time Racing cam cover on there. So this is still a cam angle sensor. It's just not gonna be triggering my spark plugs because that's all gonna be through the tune. So this looks pretty cool. So it's been a few days. I took a break because I wanted to wait till the next day to do some more things. And then it got really nice out and I had to move some stuff around. So the car is back on the lift. I took the alternator and the power steering pump off of the pink engine over there. I cleaned them up just a little bit, painted the pulleys, and this is what we got. This thing turned out absolutely awesome. So now it's pretty much ready to be thrown in that car. The only other thing is I have to read up on my wastegate and figure out how to do the springs on that. Then the wastegate will mount right there, and then it'll have a pipe that'll shoot down, try to follow the down pipe from the turbo. And if that's too difficult, we'll just shoot it out the hood. But I don't really want to do that. So yeah, this is my brand new KA24DET all set up and ready. And the next video, we'll be tossing this thing back into the car, which will be the opposite of what we did the first time. See you guys then. Thanks for watching. Peace out.